He's one person that I call on. He's very open to help all those that are in need. He's been doing this a long time. He's an educator. He's a healer. He's a medium. He's a certified Egyptian rod healer. If you haven't experienced the Egyptian rods, they're tremendous. You can ask him about that. He has a lot of words that he can tell you about. What he told me he was going to speak on today was finding your true purpose, or do you know what your true purpose is in life? As a medium myself, I have a lot of people ask me, even at 70, 80 years old, I've never found my true purpose. I don't know why I'm here. It's a wonderful feeling when you really know what your true purpose is. I have found that my true purpose has really come forward in the last 5 years. And each one of us are here for a reason. There are no accidents that we sit in this room today. There's no accidents that we meet the people that we do. So I'm sure that he is going to have a lot of words to say. He speaks from his heart. He speaks through divine intervention. So I'm sure whatever he has put on paper will be also intercepted by God and Spirit. I know him. So I would like to welcome the Reverend James Whatley to the podium.
Thank you. November 11/11 in 2007, Veterans Day.
Marine Corps birthday.
Absolutely. Indeed, we are proud to be veterans of the armed forces. Through the internet, or perhaps handed to you today, was this flyer. Have you found your true life purpose? There's many that have. Dr. Martin Luther King, we all know Albert Einstein. James Redfield wrote Celestine Prophecy. And a wonderful person that changed the entire world in many, many ways, Helen Keller, for the blind. And of course, we're familiar with Neil Donald Walsh, who wrote the Conversation with God books. And this person right here, no one in this room knows her, but I do. Her name is Kate. You wonder sometimes where inspiration comes to help those in our pathway. In this particular instance, I was at Cost Cutters a number of weeks back. I was the only customer in the store. And this smiling face appeared and just fussed over me, making sure everything was just right and holding the mirror. Should we take a little more off? And I was so impressed by her attention that I said to her, "Do you really enjoy what you do?" She said, "Well, yes, I do. I've been doing this for a long time." So it occurred to me, and be careful when you say occurred to me and where the source of that really is, because the Spirit is working within us all the time. I said, I feel good for what you did today for me. I says, do you know, have you ever thought that the person that's sitting in your chair and you're fussing over them and making sure that everything is just right, I said, you don't know what's going on inside their mind. Maybe they just lost their job. Or their husband, wife, child, there were some cross words. You don't know that. But what you do know is that when they sit before you and you're so kind to them and so attentive to them, they get out of the chair and they're feeling good. So I said to her, you know, you are fulfilling your spiritual mission here. She says, I am? I said, well, yes, you are. She said, what's that all about? So about a half hour later, she knew very clearly that she was fulfilling her life mission. As that person that leads your children maybe to go get the new job the next day, or to say to their wife or the husband or the child or at the workplace or wherever it may be, they're feeling much better as a result of your spiritual mission. And how do we define that? And we take a look at what that is. We're going about in the world, let's get to the core of it, as a representation, a living energy connected with a larger, higher energy source that's operating through us. Right? So if we expand our awareness from thinking, illogical thinking, and we allow the voice from the creative source to be able to talk with us and live within us and out from us into, in this case, someone sitting in a chair. The idea came up, well, I'm just a hairdresser. You know, since this time meeting with her and having this idea to give a talk about finding your true life purpose, I've come across a number of people. And I don't have to do anything. They just come. Because I attract it. The energies within me, the guides, ascended masters that work through me. Oh, he's going to give a talk on a life purpose. That creative source, because it's a yes universe, it's a consequence universe, right? Because of what we project out there, what we're beaming, transmitting, is rebroadcast back to us and reflected to us because of what we're thinking. It's pictures that we send out. We know how many know how the law of attraction works. Doesn't matter what religion or language that you have, you're sending pictures all the time. You have about 60,000 thoughts a day, and you only remember a few of them. As you're thinking and how you focus, that image is going out, regardless of language, going out into the universal stream or into the creative source, picks that up, and responds by filling the order. So, she likes what she does. And so I asked her to remove the just word. You're not just a hairdresser, or someone last week that I saw, waitress. She brought 4 souls into this world, and they are all making great accomplishments. She's so proud. And she has a daughter named Cassandra that made sure to tell me that she's going to be 14 in 2 months. Going to be. She's so excited about her life. That young woman is an adept tarot reader already. What do you think's headed for her? She's in alignment. The hairdresser's in alignment. The bookkeeper says, I'm just a bookkeeper. But she loves it, or he loves it. And so they work the computer program or whatever it is, you know, however it is that they bring that about. And so they're loving what they do and they're fulfilling their true purpose, their mission here. The person that's their customer loves them too because they don't have to do that stuff, right? So they're fulfilling their mission. The woman that brought in these souls, fulfilling her mission. And whatever restaurant where she is, and she's helping those that come to dine there, they're the better because she makes them feel good and serves them well. And so she's fulfilling her true life purpose. And so then you think, well, do I have one? Or where do I get one? And you may not sure that you have it. So part of this talk is that what we consider ordinary, everyday jobs and professions, you're doing what you came in to do. And if you take a look, for example, it may be something that's not working out too well for you, the profession, the job, and you're not liking it. How do we make a change? We make the change by taking a look, take a moment, take a look at what we really like. So if you were to take a ruled paper and drew a vertical line down the middle and put on one side everything that you liked, you really enjoyed, and the other side stuff you didn't like or what was going on. That's the ingredients for your life purpose. So you take those, okay, what can I do? It's a recipe. So you take this recipe and you can resource through the internet or people that, and human resources, or your friends. You know, your friend may say to you, I've been telling you for years and years that you should be doing this. Well, what's held you back? Because you felt, I can't do it, I'm not so sure. I have bills to pay. This is a block. I have bills to pay. I have obligations, I have responsibilities. You not realize that when you step out of the box and you take this recipe, if you could take this recipe to someone and say, look at this recipe. And they say, well, that works in our kitchen and we can use you. So now the box has changed. And then you are in alignment with your desires. And then fulfilling your life purpose is to be in alignment with the creative source. The more in alignment you are, and the more that you feel that connectivity, because you're stepping out of just thinking, the more that connectivity you have, the universe, the creative source, make sure that you get more of the same. I like that. And the universe says, check, I'll get you some more. And we have people here, and I've never really said it to this person, but I'm going to say it today. We have some unique individuals here and there that are planted like seeds among humanity. And I said to her earlier today, not too long back, I said, you're God's cheerleader, and she's sitting right there, and her name is PJ. And you could be around this woman and get excited because she's so full of love. It's in her emails. When you see her in person, she's fulfilling her life purpose because she's so full of the Spirit, of the joy of the Spirit. And if you are in joy of living the Spirit, of breathing the Spirit, and loving, think about this, whatever your profession, whatever your job, that person that crosses your pathway at the workplace or in your own home, it doesn't make a bit of difference. If you focus on the spirit and joy of that creative source and the love from that creative source, that's God in action. You are the God man, you are the God woman in action. You are doing the active element from the creative source. You are living it and breathing it. And the people, when you are serving the person, or they're buying goods, or they're buying a service, and we take the focus off of the chatter that's going on in our mind, I got to do this, I got to do that, and I got to fix this, and so-and-so said something that hurt my feelings. If we remove ourselves and allow the joy and the experience from the creative source within us, and that person that where we provide the service or the goods, They are going to feel it. You don't have to say anything necessarily, because of your energy. The more you feel the joy of the creative source, that energy gets bigger. Because the Creator says, wow, you are expressing all my energies. I will give you some more. And so your bioenergy field, we're going to use this technical term, this bioenergy field, like so, gets bigger. Gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Because of those lives that you touch while you're interacting with them. Because you focus on that creative source and the love and the joy of that creative source, just makes it stronger, makes it better. This young woman here, Kate, her whole attitude was changed. Now she knows that when she's talking with that person, and using the intuitive, the creative aspect of her beingness, of her energy, she's gone from this to this. You can, I can, everyone can, if we realize and allow that joy. It doesn't matter the troubles that we're having in our lives or the blocks that we create. Remove them. You have a block in your life, you have a concern in your life that maybe something's not working out. Okay, talk yourself through it. All obstacles fall before me. All obstacles fall before me. You can interject financial, relationship, doesn't matter. You can plug that word in if that suits you. All obstacles to my wealth and health and relationships are dissolved. Now, everything that is now possible. You go about your day with the idea that, yes, you do have a true life purpose. You may think that you don't have one because that was brought up yesterday evening. Well, maybe some people don't want one. You got it anyhow because you're here. You're here. You got it because you're here, and you came here on purpose. You did. Before you came into the physical form, or what's called the vessel, you made a decision to come here for your soul to experience the God experience through you. You chose to be here. You chose the tough times, the happy times, for the refinement through the soul's purpose through the form known as the vessel, or the physical form. And that's what it is, because the soul expressing God through us. And so when you figure that out, maybe things in life aren't so tough after all. That we can bear them and know that we have a partner. We're not alone. There's no separation. There isn't. Traditional belief system will teach a dogma, let's say. So we follow that. Okay, we're following that, we're good to go. Sometimes, but perhaps not so. So we remove out of the dogma, out of some of the rituals, some of the ceremonies, and recognize that that spirit, the creative spirit, watches everything. Everything that we see, everything that we do is recorded. Uh-oh, look out. It's being recorded. You're being taped. Whoa. Because, yes, the universe is yes. It's a consequence universe also. There's a consequence. You think negative, guess what you're going to get? You think positive in bringing about the change? PJ has a gigantic banner in her office. When you change the way you look at things, and things that you look at change. Where have we heard that before? How many Wayne Dyer books do we have? This many? Or this many Sylvia Browns? It doesn't matter. So we have a literary experience, we have a life experience. And the life experience polishes us. And some people that I interact with will think, because they really don't know, they're just quiet, mild-mannered guy. Until he's called up. Now, I had a dream recently, and a portion of the dream was Matthew. No need to go into the detail of the dream, but part of the dream was this fellow named Matthew that came because I asked to talk to the manager in the dream. And so I knew right away it was a Bible reference, and I got out my pendulum and opened the Bible and went into Matthew and page by page by page and find out what it was he had to say. It was Matthew 10:19. So when they call him up, and this is not all the words to it, for that which he has to speak, the words will be given to him at that moment. So I started thinking myself, from this inspiration to have this kind of a talk, I need to bone up and learn a few things. I even purchased a book, The Purpose of Your Life. Guess what? I haven't read it. I haven't read the book. Oh my God. So I allow Spirit, those that walk with me, to speak through me. Because I did get gathered up today, and the words come. The words come. What we need to hear, each and every person here, came because the Spirit within each of you, and myself, I'm learning also, chose to come here today to hear just what we needed to hear. You may, whatever your profession, the job that you have, think, now, because we got a different idea about it, I'm fulfilling my life purpose. You are. And while you're doing it, don't forget you got a partner. You have a partner. You're not alone. You're never alone. There is no separation ever, ever from that creative source, or that which we call God or Allah, or any number of other labels that humankind has placed upon that creative source. Never alone. You feel lonely, you feel down, you feel depressed. Hey, ask God. Say, Father, I'm not feeling well. Someone said something to me that hurt me. You still yourself for a moment, you'll feel a hand on your shoulder. Because that creative source is real and it's active. Allow it to participate and co-partner with you in your life. In closing, I have a quotation. An idiom of the Bible, and George Lamsa grew up speaking Aramaic, the language of Jesus. And Sherry and I had a talk about idioms here a number of weeks back. But I like to bring just this one statement about a great master teacher who was fulfilling his life purpose. He was. So he said in his language, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. So a direct translation from his language, from Aramaic. My God, for this I was kept. And this means, this was my destiny. I was born for this. That's exactly what he said. No forsaking. He came here for a purpose. Each of you came here for a purpose, for refinement in your lives, or or to help the one or the many. And I am so pleased to serve the one and the many and to experience one of God's cheerleaders sitting right there. It's exciting. And so I like to say in parting that all of us can be cheerleaders. At whatever job we do, whatever profession, doesn't matter. And in relationships, in the family, be the representative of that creative source that's flowing through you and connect with it. Continue to connect with it. You will be filled with all the answers. They're there. All you got to do is ask. You'll be filled with those answers, and those that cross your pathway, they're going to feel the energy of the divine love and the joy that comes through, that's within us all the time. So that person that's a checker at the store, doesn't matter what, that person is touching lives and says a kind word to the person, or takes a moment instead of being focused on themselves and what's in their particular individual life, and says a kind word. Another quick little example was a Subway, and an older woman that was a cashier there and ringing up my sandwich, and she said, "Will there be anything else, honey?" And I said to her, "You can call me honey anytime you want." And so I felt good, she felt good. Remove the stress from your life. Remove the thinking about the demands of the physical realm. Because you know what? This is a small percentage, it's a little bit of the true world, the spiritual realm. And the more connectivity and alignment in the spiritual realm, the more joy that you will have. And so have joy. Have joy of that creative source, and just let it flow through you, and your job, your concerns, all those things seem to melt away, because you are feeling and experiencing and pouring forth from you the joy of the creative source. Thank you for allowing me to serve.